Course 2, Study Guide 7, page 2. 3/5 of the baker's cookies are chocolate chip. He made 80 cookies. How many cookies are chocolate chip? So 3/5 of, which is times, the cookies he made, which is 80, I'm going to put a 1 under that, is going to give me how many cookies were chocolate chip. Now you can multiply and divide, or you can cancel, and 5 will go into 80, just make the arithmetic a little bit easier. So we end up with 3 times 16 on top, which is 48, 1 times 1 on the bottom, and 48 over 1 is 48 chocolate chip, and I'm just going to abbreviate chocolate chip cookies. What percent of the cookies are not chocolate chip? Well, if 3/5 are chocolate chip, then what have we left? We're left 2/5 that are not chocolate chip. And if we want to change that to a percent, let's multiply by 100%. You can multiply 2 times 100, divide by 5. Again, I would recommend canceling. 5 goes into 100 20 times. So you have 2 times 20, 40, don't forget your percent sign, over 1 times 1, which is 40% are not chocolate chip. So if they ask you what percent were chocolate chip, you would know it would be 60%, because 100% would be all the cookies. Find the area and perimeter of this parallelogram. I'm going to do perimeter first. Perimeter is the distance around the figure, and we learned the other day that opposite sides of a parallelogram are the same. So if this side down here is 1 foot, which is 12 inches, and if this side up here is also 12 inches, and this side is 10, and this opposite side is 10, then we can find that, and they're trying to trick you a little bit right there, so you have to be careful, make sure you have the same units. So you've got 10 plus 12, 22, and I'm going this way. So then I have another 10, and then I have another 12, which is 44 inches. That's the perimeter. That's the distance around it. The area of a parallelogram is base times height, and you can see that the base is 12 inches. The height is 8 inches. It's how tall it is perpendicular to the ground. We're not looking at slanted. We want to know how tall it is. If you measure the height of something, you want to know how tall it is. And we've got equals, and I didn't put my units on there. Let's put inches and inches. And so we've got 12 times 8, which is 96. We multiplied inches times inches, which is square inches. Number 13, write 8 and 6400ths times 10 to the 4th in standard form. Okay, that just means get it out of scientific notation. So 4 is the number that we need to move our decimal place. And we're going to take 8.64, and I'm going to do the work, and then I'll rewrite the answer, make it look a little bit better. So if we're going to go to the right 4 places, I'll go 1, 2, and I'll need 2 more zeros. Now if you leave it like that, it's kind of messy. You're not really sure. So now my decimal's placed over here. So let's write 86400, and even to make it look prettier, let's put a comma in it. Write 4/5 as a decimal. Anytime you want to write a fraction as a decimal, divide the bottom and the top and add zeros until it comes out even. 5 doesn't go, or repeats. 5 doesn't go into 4, but 5 goes into 40 8 times. And we're through. It came out even, 8/10. Write 0, and I'm going to say it as 0.15 as a simplified fraction before I do it as a fraction, because we need to know its place value. Well, tenths, hundredths, so 15 hundredths can be written as 15 over 100. Now that's the fraction, it's just not simplified. Let's divide by 5 over 5, and we get 3 over 20. Number 16. 5 1/3 times 3/8. You can't multiply fractions if you don't have fractions. So 5 1/3 is a mixed number, it's not a fraction. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16/3, times, I'm going to change that to a dot, 3 over 8. Now you can multiply, and then divide, but you've got a lot of canceling that's going to help you. 3 and 3 go into each other one time. And 8 goes into 8 one time, and to 16 two times. Look how much the arithmetic is easier. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And 2 over 1 is just 2. Number 17, what is the unit rate of a 16-ounce can of fruit that sells for $2.88? Well, we talked about unit value on one of the previous problems. It was the unit rate was the dollars per hour. So in this case, we're looking for money per ounce. So unit rate is the value of it, or the money, divided by the measurement, whatever unit you're measuring in, which in this case would be the ounces. So we've got $2.88 divided by 16, because we want to know how much it is per ounce. So let's divide 16 into $2.88. 16 won't go into 2. 16 goes into 28 one time. 2, 1, 128. Now let's think about 16 times what will give me 128. Let's try 8 and see if that'll work. 6 times 8 is 48. Carry 4, 8, and 12. So it's going to go exactly 8 times. So the unit rate, and I'm going to write it up here. It'll be, I'll tell you what, let's put it back over here. Will be 18 cents per ounce. Right, 18% is a simplified fraction. Well, percent means hundreds. So if we take the percent sign off and put it over 100, that's the fraction. Now let's simplify. We can divide by 2 over 2, and we'll get 9 over 50, which is in lowest terms. Number 19, again we're going to do Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. And we have no parentheses, but we do have an exponent. So I've got 15 minus 2 times 6 plus 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, which would be 9. We have multiplication right here, so we've got 15 minus 12 plus 9. Now we do adding and subtracting from left to right. So I've got 15 minus 12, which is 3 plus 9, which is 12. Number 20, I'm going to actually write this a little bit bigger, so I'll have room to show my canceling. When you're doing canceling, you can cancel any numerator and denominator. So I'm going to look for anything that will go into some of the others. I think I'll start with the 20 and the 30, because 10 will go into both those. And that doesn't have to be where you start, but I'm just looking for it because it specifically says I need to do canceling. So I'm going to divide 10 into 30, and it goes 3 times, and 10 into 20 goes 2 times. I think I'm going to do 28 and 21, because 7 goes into 21 3 times, and 7 goes into 28 4 times. 8 goes into both of these, so I can do 8 into 16 2 times, and 8 into 40 5 times. Now you have a little more canceling. If you look, any numerator and any denominator will see 3 and 3. You can cancel and get 1s, 2 and 2. It doesn't always happen this way, and you can multiply whatever point, but I like to take as far down as I can. So I've got 4 times 1, which is 4, over 5 times 1, which is 5, which is so much easier than trying to multiply those big numbers.